Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Hope you are all having a fantastic morning, fantastic start to the weekend. Hope you've all had a brilliant weekend. I can see a couple of you have started coming in already, which is awesome to see. We'll wait for a couple more people to come in, and then we'll start our broadcast. We're already live, as you guys can tell. Put on the correct notifications out there. There we go. Right, there we go. I slept fantastically last night, but even I found it difficult to get up this morning. How are we all doing? How did you all sleep? Let me just... There we go. Annie Forever, what is good? Annie, how you doing, mate? Good to see you in. Hello there. We have got Azrael Trade. What's good, Azrael Trade? How you doing, brother? Good morning, Will. Good morning, both of you guys. How are you doing? First guys in this morning. Absolutely fantastic to see. Dude, I look really tired. I need to put some of those like hydrating patches on my eyes. Right, let's get a quick picture to put on the Instagram. Bosh, that'll do. That'll do, Donkey. That'll do. I'm good, brother. Awesome stuff. Glad you're okay, man. That's brilliant. Let us know your plans for the weekend, guys. As well, what are you guys up to this week? You know, what's your plans? What's the goals? I find it's really important to be setting goals on the week. Not necessarily a P&L goal either. Like, you know, obviously we're traders. Well, most of us are traders. A lot of the time, people find that they want to set P&L goals. I find it's good to set goals, but be careful when it comes to finances, when it comes to P&L. But let us know what your goals are for the week. And even if you're not watching this live, even if the broadcast has ended, just feel free to put in your goals anyway. Drop them down in the comment section below if you have watched. If you are watching this stream back and it's not live, make sure you drop in the comment section what your goals for the week are. In the meantime, let me post a link saying... Live. No. Unbiased Trader. Good morning, son. How you doing, brother? What's good, my friend? Right. Once I've finished posting all these notifications out, we shall go live. Just landed back in Kenya. Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know you were... Oh, you did tell me, actually. No, you did tell me, to be fair, that you were going back for a bit. Oh, dude, that's awesome, man. How long are you out there for? Azrael Trade saying 2.5% for the week if it gets good. If not, also good. Dude, that's awesome. Mate, if you get the 2.5% for this week, that is absolutely fantastic. Big congratulations. If not, don't sweat it. You know, 100%. I like that. You know, like if you get the results, you get the results. If you don't get the results, it's not the end of the world. Annie Forever just planned some ground rules for entry and exit. The goal is to just stick to those rules. Champion. Absolute champion mindset, my friend. Yeah, 100%. Just make sure that you're sticking to your rules. That is, you know, if you've got a goal of, I don't care if I win as long as I stick to my rules, your success rate is usually going to be a lot higher than those that are just like, I just want to earn $10,000 this week, you know. All right. I had some technical difficulties this morning, so let me just once I've signed into everything, I'll be ready to rock and roll. Everything is loading. So we've got a couple of topics to talk about today, which I noted down last night. Like I said, I went to bed super early last night. I was absolutely exhausted. I trained twice yesterday on a Sunday. For those of you who don't know, my brother, Ewan Davis, the co-founder of Apex Brotherhood, he is also my personal trainer. So he's got me working extra hard at the moment, trying to burn off some of that weight from Hong Kong. So he has got me working pretty hard at the moment, and truth be told, I worked out twice yesterday, and man, I was I was tired. I was real tired, but it's okay. We're all good. I've got a bottle of water. That's really annoying. Right, okay. I need that. There we go. Fantastic. Went for a wedding, just 2 days. Went Friday morning and back today. Oh, okay, fair. I got you. Sorry, man. I get you now. Oh man, that's something. Fair play. How long was the flight to Kenya then? That's got to be what, 8 hours? 8-9 hours? Just for 2 days and then 8-9 hours back. Oh, mate, that's something, mate. Fair play. It must have been a close family member. Yeah, I would not have flown that far. That's tough going, unless it was like business class, then maybe. Day would go bad if I didn't find out later that Friday would have been profitable. Yeah. Correct, 9 hours. Oof. Oh man, 9 hours. I mean, fair play to you, bro. That is something. Right, let's have a look. I can't seem to find any of my notes. How weird is that? We're just gonna have to wing it today, guys. We are going to have to wing it with no topics because I cannot seem to find my topics. How strange is that? Interesting. Anyway, it don't matter. It don't matter. We can wing it anyway. Right, let's get down to business. Like I said, guys, you know, all this it's a chance for everyone to start off the week correctly. You know, it's actually the last week of the month as well. So I feel like this week it's a fantastic opportunity to reflect on what's happened over the past week. And see, you know, what's happened over the past month, the past year. It's the first close now of the Q2 month. So those of you who, you know, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, yeah, right, that sounded weird. So, you know, we've got 4 quarters in a year. So, you know, you divide, most finance people divide up their sort of structures into 4 instead of, you know, dividing them into the 12 months. So it's a good opportunity to sort of understand what's going on. You know, how was your last quarter? How's Q1 for you guys? You know, what happened? It gives you a better knowledge or a better understanding of your sort of statistics over a better time zone, a better time frame, should we call it? You know, we can all look at our data and our statistics over a month, and this doesn't just mean for trading. Like, some of you will be watching this and you're not traders. You know, it doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to trading. It doesn't mean, you know, you must be a trader to understand that, how that works. What it means is you've got to understand how you as a whole, you as a person, you can understand that people have better psychological quarters. Q1, January through till April, usually the colder months, especially in the UK, some maybe wetter months. Some people don't like the colder, wetter months, makes them feel glum, makes them feel miserable. You got to understand how it makes you feel. Potentially, that could even relate to trading. How does that make you feel in your trading? How does it make you feel when it comes to taking trades in the market, taking open positions? So you got to understand how will potentially affect you. Now, if you're finding that you're struggling a little bit with your trading over the past, Q1, start Q2, Donald Trump may have a massive participation to that. However, it also could be due to the fact that, how do you feel mentally? How do you feel as a person? How do you feel emotionally? What's going on in your life? And that's why I have journaling. That's if I've actually got on the Apex Brotherhood website, we've got a free journal. Over the next few months, I'm planning some massive things, and this isn't going to be a plug to anything, guys. I'm just going to talk to you about what I'm doing, and a little bit of my plans. I'm going to be developing, building some awesome things that should hopefully help you guys a lot. One of those things is going to be, for those of you who are in a little bit more professional industries that are potentially speaking in public, I am going to be developing a Master of the Art of Public Speaking course, should we call it. I hate the word course. I got to find... Maybe I'll look in the thesaurus. Guys, maybe you guys on the live right now, drop it in the chat room. Give us a better word for course, because I feel like one of those guru scammers when it comes to developing courses, and I just hate the word. I don't want to be. I've never wanted to be a course seller, but you guys seem to really want these courses. You guys. So many people have come up to me saying, "Will, do you have a trading course? Do you have a mentality, like a mindset course, psychology course?" I was like, I have none of these. I go live every single day in the Fivers community. I'm live here now on a Monday. We've also got the boys in the Brotherhood who are live every single day on this channel as well, the Apex Brotherhood channel. And it sort of got me thinking. I was like, should I create a course? And I thought, I don't know, if it doesn't quite feel right. But look, due to popular demand, I am going to be creating some fantastic material for you guys. Yes, I'm going to be creating a trading course eventually. I'm not going to rush it. I want to put absolutely all my knowledge into it. And I mean everything from step 1 to 100. So I don't have a time on when I'm going to release that. I want to create a mindset and sort of... We're going to be calling it the upgrade protocol. And what that is, it's an opportunity for everyone. Like, whether you're a trader or, fitness guy, or a plumber, it really doesn't matter. If you want to go, like, if you find yourself like maybe you're not quite living up to who you think you could be, or perhaps you've got bad habits, perhaps you've got you're not quite achieving what you want to be achieving, or perhaps you've just got habits that you want to get rid of. This is going to be in the upgrade protocol. The upgrade protocol is going to be an opportunity for you to reflect in on yourself and learn how you can become a better version of yourself. So it's not just for traders, it's for absolutely everybody. Again, I'm not sure when I'm going to be releasing that. I take my time with everything that I create because I want to put genuine, heart into it. I want to put genuine effort into it. I'm not one of these guys that just go on ChatGPT, copy, paste, and release a course. I want to genuinely focus and put time, dedication, effort into these courses to release it to you guys. Not only that, it gives me a bad name if it's a crap course. And look, I've spent a lot of time trying to develop a good personal brand and trying to make sure that I'm creating a good sort of name for myself. I want to make sure that the Davis name, will live on as one that should be one to be aspired and one to be, sort of looked up to, not one that should be, should be ridiculed and say, oh, he's a scammer. So, it's that's the whole goal, is to make sure that, I'm creating something that even you guys can say, you know what, he's knocked out the bag. You can see this time, dedication, effort, and thought has gone into this. So those are the 2 courses I'm creating at the moment, and then eventually I will probably new for 28. I'll probably be like developing it and creating it over 2027. Will be mastering the art of public speaking. I do want to create a public speaking course because I know that a lot of you guys, maybe not some of you watching right now live, but I know a lot of you guys do go out and do public speaking, whether it's in front of hundreds like myself or potentially thousands, or whether it's just in front of a boardroom, or if it's just in front of your colleagues. Even if some of you guys are in school, if there's students watching this right now, sometimes you'd be asked to do a seminar or an assembly, as I think you call it. So even if it's just being asked to do an assembly, just trying to be confident and convey yourself in public. And sometimes they can just be talking in groups. Sometimes there's a lot of shy people out there. Sometimes just going to a bar, a restaurant, a pub, or a family gathering, a wedding, an event. Even if you've got a wedding coming up and you've got to make a toast, that is public speaking. So trying to convey yourself with confidence and understand how you can project yourself and be listened to. That's what I'm going to be trying to create. And don't get me wrong, yes, sometimes even myself can fumble, and do all sorts of those habits and that negative stuff. However, we're all human. We're all human at the end of the day, and it's remembering that. So, as you guys know, a lot of what I like to talk about and sort of arrange my career and my teachings around it is mindset, it's psychology, because we can't do anything with a negative mindset and negative psychology. So absolutely everything you do in life, if you're a plumber and you show up and you're timid and you're nervous and you don't show that you know what you're doing, you're not going to give this person that maybe you're fixing their bath, their sink, their toilet, they're going to look at you and think, does this guy even know what he's talking about? And potentially, even if you do a good job, they're going to be like, oh, I don't actually know if that guy knows what he's talking about, or that guy creeped me out a little bit. We get negative connotations. We get negative, like, people come up to us with negative sort of opinions. They generate negative opinions on you just from the first impression, just because you can't convey yourself in a confident way. So that's the most important thing, guys, is make sure that you're projecting yourself in a confident way. Make sure you hold yourself, take a deep breath from the lungs. And I don't mean like, don't breathe from the chest. I mean really breathe from down here. Like, really take that deep breath in, hold it for a couple of seconds, remember who you are, and slowly release. And first things first, you make yourself feel a lot better, you relax yourself, it's like giving yourself an internal sort of reset before then continuing with whatever you have to do. But so that's my best advice to you guys. As you go through the week now, starting from today onwards, it is a Monday, it is 22 minutes past 7. Best thing you can do, in my opinion, is just take a massive deep breath and think what you want to do, not necessarily for the week. It's good to have plans, structure your week, but think what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're going to do now, what you're going to do in like half an hour's time, how are you going to structure your day. Take a deep breath. And like, I talk to my brother about this all the time. He is such an intelligent person, but he stresses a lot, especially when it comes to organization, because he, like I said, he's so intelligent. He's got all this information, trying to put it from up here onto the computer screen, onto pen and paper. It doesn't matter what style you use. Trying to go from here to here or here to here, it's difficult for him. And I find a lot of people do this, especially the really intelligent people, or potentially the people with like some like ADHD, ADD, all these fantastic things that people have decided to label now. They truly are superpowers, but they're superpowers if you learn to harness them. And trying to convey yourself from what's going on in your head and all the fantastic information that you have in your head, and then putting it onto the screen. And this is brilliant for those who are in some form of educational environment. if you'd learn to do, if you're doing an essay or a dissertation, you've got exams coming up. I know Sam, he is one of our live streamers. He's in college or university. He is doing some exams over the next few weeks. So big shout out to Sam. Good luck to you, my friend. And for all of the others out there, you know, it doesn't matter whether you've got a presentation in work that you're preparing for, going into work, you know, whatever that may be, going into a presentation, you're doing some breathing exercises is the best thing you will ever do. And I can genuinely promise you that breathing exercises are king. But let us know what you guys think. You know, like, what do you guys get stressed over? You know, what do you guys, you know, overthink about? A lot of you guys, as I said, are traders, and you know, you guys will get stressed over placing a trade and potentially holding a trade, or just trusting your analysis, you know, or just some people get nervous just watching MT5 startup or watching TradingView startup. And the best thing you can do when it comes to that is literally just take a deep breath. Like, really fill up those lungs through the nose. You know, really breathe in through the nose, fill up those lungs, and hold it for a couple of seconds, and then don't just like, I mean, like, slowly release it. You know, slowly release it. Do that 3 times, and I can promise you it will feel like you've just, I don't know, just had some massive rush of dopamine. You'll forget your issues and you'll be like, what was I even stressed about? And then just start thinking clearly. So I'd be like, okay, you know, why am I stressing over it? And always asking yourself why is a fantastic question. So, you know, for those of you who are watching right now, probably traders, let's keep it trading related. You know, so there's going to be a lot of you out there that are stressing about trading. You know, you're entering into a trade, you're nervous. Deep breath, ask yourself, why are you nervous? Why are you nervous entering the trade? And if you're nervous because you're not sure if it's according to your strategy, ask yourself, so is this according to my strategy? Look back at your strategy. And a fantastic way to ask yourself and to understand and answer yourself is write your strategy down, write your entry criteria down. And if you're like, right, okay, I've got a piece of paper here. You know, you got a piece of paper, scribble it down. There you go. Entry criteria. I don't know. Order block, fair value gap, imbalance. Well, imbalance is fair value gap. Fibonacci retracement, breaker structure, bullish candle, close. There you go. There's your entry criteria. You must have all of those ticked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticked. Boom. Enter. You now know that you're entering according to your strategy. It's giving you confidence. You're able to say, yes, my strategy is saying this. I can enter now with confidence because this is what I've got data backed up over. However, if you look at this, yes, it's got my entry criteria. This is my strategy. I'm still nervous. Why? Why are you nervous? And if you're nervous because potentially not actually 100% sure on your strategy, go back and backtest it. Don't place it on a live account. Open up a demo account and then trade a demo account. Execute with a demo account. Go back and do some back testing, do some live testing, forward testing, whatever, and then build confidence in the strategy. Once you've got confidence in your strategy, you understand your trading criteria, your entry criteria, you find that you're taking trades. You do a couple of breathing exercises before you actually take the trade. You take the trade and you find that your confidence will shift. It's the exact same with everything else in life, guys. You know, if you're nervous to go to the gym, you know, if you're nervous to go to the gym, then you show up and you're like, oh, I'm nervous. Perhaps I'm overweight. Perhaps I'm skinny. Perhaps I'm not quite, you know, in as good a shape as these other guys in the gym. Perhaps, you know, it depends. Perhaps I'm recovering from an injury. It doesn't matter. Perhaps you're in the best shape of your life and you're just tired. And, you know, I'm nervous to go to the gym because I look so good, and if everyone is there watching me and I'm not lifting as well because I'm tired. You know, we all put a lot of internal pressure on ourselves, but it is so important that we don't put that pressure on ourselves. It's so important that we remember that it's self-pressure. You know, we got no one else putting this pressure on us. You know, you go to the gym, you got everyone else thinking that they're also skinny. You got everyone else thinking that they're out of shape, they're fat. You got everyone else thinking that they're recovering from an injury. Or what if people look at me and laugh because I'm wearing the wrong jogging trousers? You know, there's stupid reasons. And believe me, that last one may have sounded like a joke. It may have sounded funny. I've heard someone say it. You know, I've heard someone say, I'm wearing, you know, baggy joggers instead of tight joggers. I was like, bro, like, why are you even stressing about that? You know, I've seen people go into the gym wearing all sorts of wacky stuff. I've gone in and watched someone in the gym wearing jeans before. I'm like, there. You know, I don't care. No one cares what you're wearing, because we're in there to do a job. We're in there to lift weight, to hit the treadmill, to hit the bike. We're there to hit our goals. And whether that's movement goals, whether that's, you know, fitness goals, whether it's, you know, lifting goals, like weight goals, you know, muscle building goals, it doesn't matter what your goals are to go to the gym. Even if it's just go to the gym, look around and walk out, just because that's the first step you need to take to actually go to the gym and, you know, tick that off your box. Maybe you're finding you're struggling with being lazy. Maybe you're struggling with getting up in the morning and you're finding, you know, you want to start going to the gym, but you don't, you know, it's small incremental steps. You got to build it up slowly. So you go to the gym, you know, you stick in the gym for a little bit, you're just having a look around, spend 5-10 minutes there, walk away. That's ticking that box of getting up in the morning, going somewhere, coming home, even if you don't work out, you know. So no one actually cares why you're there. And it's good to remember that. So you go to the gym, do your breathing exercises, take 3 deep breaths, walk into the gym and say, right, what is my plan? Don't go to the gym without a plan. Don't go to the gym and go, oh, there's biceps there, there's a squat rack there, there's a press up machine there, you know, bench press over there, dumbbells over there. Don't just like willy-nilly run into the gym without a plan. You wouldn't trade without a plan. You don't go to the gym without a plan. You don't go to work without a plan. You know, you need a plan. A plan of execution. There's a saying, if you poor preparation prevents piss poor performance, and if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So they're fantastic sort of motives to remember, fantastic sort of quotes to remember. If you go to a location like a gym, or you go and place a trade without a plan, the expectation is going to be nowhere near as positive as it would be as if you're going to go there with a strategy. If you're going to go to the gym, right, okay, today I'm nervous, but let's get over it, do some breathing exercises. Go to the gym, get in there, okay, I want to do chest day today. I want to hit, you know, lower, like center and upper chest. Then I'm going to do chest. So I'm going to do incline bench, then I'm going to go do dumbbell flat bench, then I'm going to go do cable bench, and then I'm going to go finish off with some triceps. Boom. 4 exercises, chest and tris. You got a plan. You go in there half an hour. You go in there 40 minutes to an hour, hour and a half maybe. You walk out. You hit everything that you need to hit. You've wasted no time. And then boom, you're done for the day. You're done your gym for the day. You know, by having a plan, you're reducing stress. By having a plan and what you want to go do, don't have an outcome. You know, don't have an outcome plan. Don't go to the gym and go, I'm gonna come out of the gym and I wanna have a chest like, I don't know, like a bodybuilder's chest. You know, no, that's the wrong attitude to have. The same way with, I'm gonna go place a trade, and by placing a trade, I want to earn $3,000, and I'm gonna come out of this trade with $3,000. That's not a plan. That's an expectation. And what you don't want to do is go in with an expectation, because if you come out of the gym and you've had a good gym session, you got a bit of a chest pump, but you've not got like some absolute Hulk chest, you know, you've not got a bodybuilder's chest, you're going to be disappointed. Or perhaps, for example, you're tired, you're not feeling great, you come out of the gym, you're like, oh, that felt rubbish, I didn't feel great there. You know, you've not felt as good as you thought you were going to, because you put an expectation on, when in real terms, you should just be proud of the fact that you showed up and you execute according to your plan. Same goes with trading. You're showing up, executing according to your plan. You know, you don't have an expectation. Your only expectation is that you expect yourself to execute your trade according to what you've backtested, according to your strategy, and according to your plan. Once you've done that, Whatever happens, it doesn't matter if you hit stop loss, if you manage your trade, you take out a break even, you take out early, or you hit a full TP. Doesn't matter what the outcome is. Just be proud of yourself for actually taking out of so just be proud of the fact that you've executed on your plan, you've executed on your strategy. And I can promise you, you'll find yourself mentally feeling a lot better. You'll find a lot more mental peace with yourself, because by having that confidence and pride in yourself, you find when you execute a strategy or when you follow a plan and you have no expectations on an outcome, you say to yourself, you know what, Will? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, brother. You did well. You followed a plan. It doesn't matter what the outcome was. The outcome could change tomorrow. You know, it may be negative now. You may have hit stop loss now, or you may not be big now. But in 2 weeks' time, in 2 years' time, in 20 years' time, 2 months' time, whatever, you know, in the near and in the distant future, your plan will start to have a positive outcome. And the same goes with gym. You know, if I do 10 bicep curls now to failure, I can't do any more. I haven't got arms like Popeye. However, if I do 10 bicep curls now till failure, and I do it every single day, and I do it till failure, in 2 years' time, I'll have arms like that. I'll have arms like Popeye. Same goes with your trading. If you execute according to your plan and your strategy, and you have confidence in your strategy, and you execute and you're following your plan over and over and over again, providing it's a profitable strategy, which it should be, because if you're trading it live, you may hit stop loss now, you may hit break even tomorrow, you may hit stop loss the next day. Providing you have a good risk management over time, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, over time you will be a profitable trader, because you'll see positive outcome. And so that's what you should say to yourself at all times is, I'm not, not that I've got an expectation. More so you say, I'm proud that you followed a plan. I'm proud that you followed your execution, your trading plan, your life plan, and your goal. Be proud of yourself, because, and this is something I try and say to everyone, my brother, my partner, my parents, it doesn't matter who, and just people, especially people that I do one-to-one sessions with, always say to yourself that you're proud. There's nothing worse than seeing someone talk negatively on themselves. I'm ugly, I'm useless, I'm stupid, I don't deserve this. All of those are examples of how people talk negatively about themselves. It's so bad. You've got to be talking positive. That positive affirmation, as they say, is the best thing you can ever do. And people ask themselves why. And it's like, well, manifestation is another thing. I think last week we touched a little bit on manifestation. Positive affirmation sounds stupid. Like, look at yourself in the mirror and say, you deserve this. I'm proud of you. You look great. You smell great. Your outfit is on point. You deserve great things. People talk about how negative they are. And like I just gave some examples. If you say you're ugly, instead of saying you're ugly, change it. Tomorrow, you wake up, instead of telling yourself how ugly you are, you tell yourself how good looking you are. Even if you don't believe it. Because no one else is going to tell you these things. Hopefully they will. I mean, hopefully, your partner thinks you're good looking. Or your parents think that you're good looking. But, no one else is going to tell you this. No one else cares enough. Or no one else cares about you more than you should. And so many people will say to me, Will, you've got such an ego, you think so highly of yourself. Well, of course, because it's only me who's going to achieve my goals. I can't say to my brother, go become a full-time trader and then give me the money. I can't say to my partner, go to the gym and give me the muscles. I can't say to my dad, gel your hair today, put some deodorant on, put some aftershave on, and smell amazing and look amazing. But then I want me to look good. It's stupid. I can't say to my mum, Mum, go put the nicest outfit you have on, because that'll make me look good. No.
You need to do these things for yourself. And by having pride in your own outfit, by having pride in your own looks and how you look and how you present yourself, by being proud of how you conduct yourself in public, there's nothing that makes me prouder than how I treat people in public. I truly believe in being a gentleman. I believe in being chivalrous. I believe in holding the door open for people. Helping an older person cross the road. Making sure that you're giving someone else the last of an item or a last of something. Just tiny things that probably look mundane and stupid, but conducting yourself in a way that people look at you and go, wow, you know what? Like my partner, for example, I don't think she even knows how to open my door. I don't think she's ever touched my door handle of my car, ever. I always open doors for her, and when it comes to the car, I make sure, I'll have a go at her. I say, oi, don't you dare touch that handle, And I remember pulling up outside my local pub once, just because I know the owner, so I went in to see her for a bit because she had some fantastic things going on. So I thought, I'm going to go down and congratulate her in person. Again, another thing that is something that I pride myself on. I go and pride myself on in seeing someone in person instead of messaging them. There is no sort of how do I put it? There's no relationship. There's no true emotion in just congratulations. If you can see him, see him. If you're the other side of the world, it's different. I'm not going to fly to you and say, well done, and then fly home. So if they're local to you, go see them. Go buy them a coffee. Go say to them in person, shake their hand, say congratulations. And that just holds weight. It's so much more different than actually texting someone. I could have texted this pub owner and said, congratulations, you're doing an awesome job. She would have loved it. But instead, I went down. I went in, I said, congratulations, you're doing an absolutely fantastic job. We spoke for a little bit, I walked out. And it just holds weight. It holds a lot more difference. People have that, wow, he did not have to do that. But anyway, the point I was getting to is I got out my car. I went round to the passenger side. I opened the car for my partner. She got out. Everyone was gobsmacked. They were like, what on earth is happening? And then anyway, got back in the car, opened the door for her, let her in, shut the door. And you had these people heckling, "Way, gentlemen, ha, ha, ha," and then other people clapping and all. I was like, what are you doing? What are you clapping for? This isn't amazing. This is an expectation. But do you know what's even better? Is how I feel when I do these things. I have that sense of pride, because it's how I conduct myself. And that sense of pride, knowing that I am being a better version of myself. At first, I used to cringe myself out doing it. I used to find it so cringy opening the door for my partner. And then it got me thinking that, why am I cringing myself out? Doing something that generations before me was an expectation. Just because society may be falling to the knee now with certain things. Society may be failing to adhere to chivalry. Doesn't mean I should, and doesn't mean you guys should either. Most of the demographic that watch the Apex Brotherhood are male. We have got some females, so big shout out to my female audience out there. But we have got a demographic of predominantly males. So guys, it's learn to be chivalrous. And there's a saying out there, chivalry's dead. I refuse to believe that. The Apex Brotherhood is here to create better versions of yourself, to encourage you guys to be better, to encourage you guys to be healthier, fitter, financially better, mentally better, psychologically better, in every way, in every part of your life, whether it's your work life, your home life, your relationship life, your fitness, it doesn't matter. We are here to encourage each other to be better. And I'm not here to encourage you to be better. We are here to encourage each other. I'm going to have days where I don't feel my best. That's where you guys in the Brotherhood, that's where you guys in the Discord, you guys pick me up. You guys make me feel better. You make me feel like I need to be a better version of myself. So to that, I, big shout out to every single one of you in the Discord and part of the community. And that's the whole point. We're here to be better versions of ourselves. So, starting out from today onwards, as we go into this new week, my goal for you guys, my challenge for you guys is to be a better gentleman. Go out there and be a gentleman. For those of you with partners, go hold the door open. Go, if you drive, open the door for your partner and see what she does. Especially if she's not used to it. Go open the door and see what she does. See what she says and just start doing that. Do it for a week. Do it for 7 days. See how it feels. She may laugh at you at first. She may say, what do you think, I'm incapable? She may have all sorts of jokes at you, but I promise you, she will have the biggest internal smile in her life. And she'll tell all of her friends. And she'll tell her family. She'll tell her parents. She may even post it on Facebook. You will have a massive impact. And if you haven't got a partner, that's okay. Go hold the door open for someone. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. Kid, doesn't matter. Go hold the door open for someone. Put a smile on someone's face today. And not only that, doesn't matter how it makes them feel. Ask yourself how it made you feel. By doing something in the art of chivalry, ask yourself, how did that just make you feel? You opened a door for someone and let them through. They may say, oh my God, thank you very much. Or you're so kind. Or you're such a gentleman. It made you feel good, didn't it? Even if, the one thing I do hate, I hate opening the door for someone walks through. Pet peeve of mine. I'll say, you're welcome. Because if I'm going to be a gentleman to me, you be a gentleman back. Or if I'm going to be a gentleman to you, you be a lady back. So there is an expectation, Don't be a gentleman to an arsehole. Simple as that. Be nice, don't stoop to their level, but don't go out your way. There is definitely, something in that. Always be a gentleman to absolutely everybody, but the moment they don't return that energy. If it's someone in a relationship with you, or if it's something that you're going to be building something with them, then yes, keep trying, because you gotta break that chain with them. But if it's someone you see every now and then, you don't see them that often, you're a gentleman to them, and then they're just an asshole back, screw it. You got a different question to ask yourself, and it's, why do I see this person? Because you become who you surround yourself with. And if you become a gentleman, you start finding that those around you start forming chivalry. Those around you start becoming a gentleman. They say if you hang out with 5 millionaires, there's a higher chance that you become the 6th. You hang out with 5 degenerates, there's a very high chance that you become the 6th degenerate. Start asking yourself, who are you hanging out with? And to top that off even more is become the person you want to hang out with. And that's why I say, ask yourself, who are you? Ask yourself, who are you becoming? And by becoming that 5th person, it may allow someone to become the 6th. In your friendship group, if you've got people that, they're doing great, they're doing good things, perhaps they're not necessarily doing the best thing in life, or perhaps they're not necessarily the best gentleman, or perhaps they conduct themselves in a way that, it's like, dude, come on, you can improve a little bit. You can be a better version of yourself. Be a better version of yourself and set the standard. Because what you may find is by watching you, they're like, wow, he's a gentleman. Like, perhaps they don't see people holding doors open for their partners. They see you holding a door open for your partner. They laugh at you. They make a joke. Dude, what are you doing? I'm holding the door open for my partner because she's, I have a saying, if your mum's alive, she's the queen of your life. If your mum's alive, your partner's your princess. If your mum's unfortunately not there anymore, my condolences to every one of you out there. I'm so sorry. But for those, if your mum's not alive, your partner instantly becomes the queen of your life. There's a hierarchy. And if someone laughs at you and says, what are you doing? Dude, like, this woman is the queen of my life. There's no other woman out there in my stratosphere that's half as important as my wife. unless you have a daughter, a bit different. Again, then she becomes the princess, your wife becomes the queen. Again, hierarchy. So, you know, you say, this woman is the queen. This woman is, you know, I developed my relationship with her, you know, my livelihood with her. Absolutely everything about this woman is attached to me. You treat her the best you'll ever treat a woman. Because if your wife says to you, he treats me like crap, think how you'd treat every other woman. If you cannot treat the woman who means the most to you as a gentleman, how are you going to treat every other woman out there? And how is every other woman going to look at you knowing that you treat the most important relationship of your life like crap? You know, so think about that. And I don't think enough people think about this when it comes to relationships. You start manifesting a good relationship with your wife, with your partner, with your girlfriend, with your mother. You open the door. You know, people laugh at you. Why are you laughing? You make them feel like crap for laughing at you. You make them feel like crap for not being a gentleman. And before you know it, you're setting a standard for your social group. You're setting a standard for your friends. You're setting a standard for your son in the future. You know, even your dad, even if he doesn't do it, your dad may look at you and think, dude, you know what? Damn. My son is a better man than I am. You know, and before you know it, you're setting a standard for your old man. You know, so that's my message for you guys today. I'm going to leave it on in a couple of points in just a second, because we have got Evan going live on the YouTube very shortly. And I don't want to steal any preparation from him. So guys, you know, just a message going out to you guys now. You know, make sure you are being the best version of yourself. You know, we've covered a few points today: chivalry, mindset, psychology, trading, breathing exercises. Guys, make sure that you're following all these points. Make sure that you're going to be the best version of yourself going out throughout the week. Make sure you're going to give yourself some breathing exercises, especially when nervous. You know, again, 3 deep breaths. Fill up those lungs, and then slowly release. Doesn't matter how long it takes. You know, there's a fantastic thing out at the moment these days with, you know, society being a little bit softer. Even if you're in the workplace and your boss says to you, get on with it, come on. You say, no, dude, like, give me a minute. I'm going to do my breathing exercises because I know. And don't be a dick to him. Don't be an arsehole to him. Don't say, shut up, boss, I'm allowed to do this. Just say, boss, you know, sir, whatever you call him, Mr. Gary. Gary, I'm going to do my breathing exercises. Bear with me. It's going to take a minute's time. But I know that I'm going to be a better performing me. And I'm going to, you know, I'm going to give you better results if you give me this minute. So, you know, if you conduct yourself in a way that pleases your boss, or maybe in a way that your boss likes to hear, you're like, your boss will be like, huh, yeah, dude, no worries. Okay, have a minute, and he'll walk off. It's so much better than saying, shut up, man, I'm allowed to do this. Give me a minute. You know, how you conduct yourself is how other people will receive it, and how people receive you is how they'll conduct themselves around you. Always remember that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it on that. It is 10 to 8 now. As we go into the week, just make sure that you're being the most productive version of yourself. Make sure you're being the most positive version of yourself as well. Wake up every single day, look at yourself and have positive affirmation. Make sure you're telling yourself how good you are, how much you deserve what has come in, and how you deserve absolute fantastic things in life, how good looking you are, how much you deserve to be the better version of yourself. And guys, make sure that you're treating all the women around you with absolute fantastic chivalry. Even the gentlemen around you, you know, treat them like gentlemen. Make sure that you're setting the standard for man you want your son to be. Make sure you're setting the standard for the man you want your daughter to marry. That is the biggest thing. So make sure you go through the week now, be a better version of yourself, challenge yourself, step into your own comfort zone, step into your goals, make sure you're achieving great things, and we shall see you in the Discord in this Sunday, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a bit of a wind down in the Discord. So if you're not already, guys, make sure you get into the description. That is where you're going to find the link to join the Discord. That is where I am going to be live on Sunday doing a summary of my week, and we'll discuss how our weeks have been, ready for setting new goals on the Monday. So guys, thank you very, very much for joining. I wish you the best of success in the week, and make sure you're being a better version of yourself. But for now, thank you very much. And guys, I'll tell you what, I'll have a bit of a catch up with chat, because I have abandoned chat a little bit, so apologies about that. MGN, oi, I'm ugly and I'm proud of it. Nobody will rob me because they give me the face one look and decide that they would rather not risk catching the ugly. Sometimes it's it's a blessing and a curse, my friend. Evan, good morning, bro. Sun is shining, days looking good. Absolutely, my friend. And of course, greetings, MGN Talent here. Unbiased Trader, hope you guys had a good Friday. Azrael Trade, Will, how is your month going? My month has been good, man. It's been a break even when it comes to my trading. I was down 1% last week, but I managed to claw it all back in just a week. I managed to, the month I was down 1%, and then this goes to show risk-reward ratio, guys. I was down for the month 1%. A good week, I was back up to break even. I earned 1%. So yeah, Azrael Trader was really good, man. Yeah, it was really good. Morning, Unbiased Trader from Evan. Good morning, MGN from Evan again. Sean MGN saying we need a new, better term to replace chivalry. Chivalry is not what most people think it is. Unfortunately, the modern idea of it is too far disconnected from what it actually is. Dude, absolutely, my friend. I completely agree. That's why I say become a gentleman. I say become a gentleman, but I don't think anyone knows what chivalry is anymore. I don't think anyone knows what gentleman is anymore, and I think that's part of the Apex Brotherhood. In fact, I'm gonna leave on this point. This is the last point. 5 to 8 now. I had a meeting with an ex-stockbroker who lives in Spain. And he goes, well, I was on the phone to him, and he goes, well, I saw your new company, Apex Brotherhood. I was like, yeah, man, we just, September we launched it. I was like, dude, that's amazing. It looks fantastic. What is it? And I was like, Apex Brotherhood, predominantly, it's not necessarily aimed at men. We do have women in our group. However, it's predominantly aimed at men, just trying to encourage men to be a better version of themselves, to become a gentleman, become the person that they truly know that they could be, just become a better version of themselves. Happier, healthier, fitter, financially freer, just to be better in every way. And he goes, have you seen Inside the Manosphere? I thought, what? And he goes, have you seen Inside the Manosphere? I was like, no, what's this? And he goes, dude, when I first saw Brotherhood, it reminded me of that. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, I've never heard of it. So I started asking some of the people. I was like, guys, have you seen Inside the Manosphere? And apparently it was just pure misogyny and toxic masculinity and stuff like that. Again, I don't know. I haven't watched it. I don't know what. I will watch it because someone tried to compare the Brotherhood to it. So I thought, what? I'm gonna watch it. So I haven't watched it yet, but I will. But when people said about toxic masculinity and misogyny and all, I thought that's really, that couldn't be further from the truth of what the Brotherhood is. The Brotherhood is, it's quite the opposite. It's trying to be the best version of yourself, the healthiest, the happiest version of yourself, and trying to make sure you're treating every relationship with the best respect possible. So, I don't know, it didn't trigger me, but I kind of thought, we need to make sure that everyone outside of the Brotherhood truly understands what the Brotherhood is about. It's not about trying to build an ego and pretend you're better than everyone else. It's quite the opposite. The Brotherhood is here to make sure that we are being the best versions of ourselves, and we are attracting the right people around us, and the correct people, and the people who encourage us to be better, and that we make sure that those around us feel comfortable and love to be around us, and we make sure that we create a happy sphere around us. We create aura that people
want to absorb, not repel. So guys, thank you very, very much for joining us on that session. Annie saying, realistic session, mate. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you very much. You know, people have been coming in and dropping out throughout, but some of you have stuck through the entire hour. So guys, I just want to say a big shout out to you guys. All of you are absolute legends. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash a like button on this stream. Make sure you comment below. Guys, if you are watching this as well and it's not live, then drop a nice comment in the comment section below as well. But make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it with absolutely everybody, because like I said, we want to make sure that we're building better versions of ourselves, and we want to make sure that we're growing to a new audience and trying to increase and grow our audience to more people out there. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. Take care and see you all Sunday.